Good morning, everybody. Gonna try to start this stream right. I have here is a simple, well, not a simple pour, but a dirty pour my friend Gina helped me to create. I did it over an old painting that I didn't really care for. So now I want to go in with some alcoholic inks. Figured they would be the easiest this morning to try to set up and play with. Let me if I clear up my throat. They dry pretty fast, so I have to work relatively quickly. So let me know if the volume is good or if I need to turn things down. Actually, this music's a little loud. There we go. I'm trying to decide what colors I should start with. I just remember I have to mix up these colors really good. These usually come like a little dropper. I think I will start with a little yellow. It says it's bright, but we'll see. It doesn't look bright. Looks rather pale. Rather orange. Some Baja Blue. The bad thing about these is that they are alcohol, so they dry really fast. And these are extenders, so hopefully they'll extend the color a lot. I want to go in like little detailed areas and see what I can do to develop this a little bit more. All this thick stuff here on the top is a mixture of gel medium and sand that I took from the beach a really long time ago for my wedding. Don't suggest you do it, apparently it's illegal. So normally when it's put onto the paint or onto the gel medium, it kind of ends up looking like this. Kind of think of it like when you were in elementary school and you put glue on paper and then put what do you call it? Glitter. That's pretty much like that. I need a lot of this darn extender, huh? There we go. It smells very fumey right now. Now I've got all these wonderful lines and such with the pours, but I want to go in, kind of cover up some pieces and accentuate others, so it's not so bland. The really original paintings that I did this with is acrylic. These tend to be acrylic pours. I don't know if there are any such thing as oil pours. But using straight blue to gloss over this here. I'm trying very much to not just block everything. Blue, yellow. I'm trying to keep all my colors straight. We'll try some silver in a little bit, see how that looks. Or gold. Gold might be even better. Oh, look at that. I have green. I originally got all these acrylics, or alcoholic ink, so that I could paint on glass, onto my glass etchings, because they don't. It pours into the pore. Pours into pores. It's it works on non-porous surfaces, and porous ones as well. The idea here is to try to use the pour as a base. And actually, pours are not really that easy. My friend Gina makes it look super easy, but it's not. It just takes a lot of practice. But this was actually my first, believe it or not. And all the ends and stuff from the pours. Sometimes are more interested in the pours on top. Trying to go back in all these little crevices to pop them back out. As there's, in Florida, we have beach sand that is actually called coquina. It's crushed up bits of shell. And so in this, there's actually a little bit of shell fragments in there. This cleanup solution, it smells just like nail polish remover. I'm gonna keep that in this side. Use it to clean up my brushes. I'm supposed to get all that stuff out of there. Then we have Baja Blue, Sunbright Yellow. I am taking a touch of brown or black, but black would be pretty dull. So let's see how this purple does. Passion purple, whatever that means. So a few drops is all it takes, because these things are expensive. I actually have paints that date back quite a few years. Oh my goodness, this song. No, I don't want to listen to that. I'm trying to adjust the volume on this thing. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. I'll take my really super tiny brush. It's called 20-aught, and it's usually a liner. This one is called a mini detailer, but 20-aught is usually 20//0. But it's meant so that you can do tiny little details. I'm gonna go in. Now, first I'm not mixing any colors to get, well, I did with the blue and the yellow, but with this purple, I want to see how it looks first. It smells potent.
And here she goes.
A lot of times you can just rotate your painting and see if you find something you like instead, which is what I will do. Alright, I'm going to mix a little bit of this Baja Blue. This purple, this purple is very, very strong. So I go in here. My lighting's not the best right now. Your extender. Go through a lot of this extender just to make sure these don't dry so quick. Ooh, it also waters them down. How nice. Need a little bit more glue. Might have been cleared out too much. I'm doing bad at mixing these darn colors, but whatever. It's really a new tool for me, so. Doing my best at trying to see what's already in the shapes. I should probably zoom in a little bit more just so that you can see some of these details because they're very... My camera's shaky, I apologize. Come on. Oh my goodness, really, phone? Hashtag first world problems. There we go. See how that looks. Now you can kind of see with my shadow over it. A little bit, anyway. I can try to tilt it towards the camera a little bit. So I'm trying to get all these little details in the bottom here. And I'm trying to block out some of the pores, the pore lines, because for me it gets a little too busy. So what I want to do is just develop what kind of forms and such that I see in there, or imagine. So to me this almost looks like a billowing cloud, so maybe I'll go with that. It's like crazy plumage. clean up this brush here. It's a little dirty. Instead of fiddling with all these big spots, I really need to take a bigger brush and go over. But right now, even with something this big, I'm afraid it's gonna take up too much. So, reach over and try to find a smaller, bigger brush. Because I have a ton of them. That might actually do it. It's a little stiff though. Do I have anything softer? Ideally I should, because I have 8 million brushes. Here we go. My favorite brush. Here we go. Come here, extender. I want to turn you into like a wash. Just making sure I'm using the extender and not the cleanup solution. There we go. So I want to block out big areas to break up all of this line and bring these little textures back out again. Means I'll go back in here. So those just tuning in, I am reworking an acrylic pour that I did, and I was okay with it. Not a big fan, but you know, to each their own. It was a very relaxing process, but for me, I like to just paint, not just pour and pour and pour and waste a lot of stuff. But I suppose it's not wasted if you reuse it, but I'm going over it with acrylic inks that I bought originally for glass. Get off of there. You don't belong there. Get some of this wonderful purple I have. So now I'm gonna have to check my work and see what looks where. This is cleanup. See, always double checking. What's my cleanup? What's my... Just dry the crap out of my brush. I think I'm going to do something about this yellow. I'm just not quite sure what yet, because everything's just turning a shade of purple or green. I might just say do it live and go with the gold. Make sure I shake it up. Is it they once said shake it like a Polaroid? I actually still have a Polaroid camera. It's from the 1980s. It was my father's. I actually used it after the birth of my son, which was very fun, trying to use that. Alright, let's see how this gold does. Do you look okay? Do you just look kind of meh? I don't know. I think I might just pour it straight on. Come here, you. Ooh! Very cool. It's sparkly. And much like the pours, just seeing all these little glittery components. That might be what it needed. Everybody could use a little gold, I guess. It almost looks like it's bubbling the way that this the glitter is just shimmering in this stuff in the solution. But I want to just give it a sheen, so hopefully that looks like a sheen. I'm actually kind of really liking how that's doing that. I might just straight up just pour. I don't know if I'm going to use orange. Black might be too harsh, so I'll try a brown with a blue. The last of my blue. This is kind of a warm brown, so we'll see how it looks. Might end up being more like purple, but oh dear me, I just realized I forgot to change my my informational here. Here, just give me a moment. So if you hear me typing, that's why. Just refresh and see if that did it. It didn't update. Are you serious? Ugh. Twitch. There we go. Whew, more accurate of what I'm doing. Like this isn't a puke. Apologize about that. Don't try to mislead anybody. No, I just mixed this brown and then I'm now using purple for some reason. Let me get my brown blue. Oh, wonderfully mixed up. I don't even remember what I was going to use it for, but we'll see. Probably to block out more stuff, I'm sure. I'm debating on streaming a little later today, using purely my phone to stream from Twitch. But I volunteered at an art center in Tampa, Florida, and I want to make sure that everything will work because, you know, people come in and out of the gallery, come check into the stuff. I also got to clean up things, so just make sure that looks okay. I feel like I need something over there. Maybe I can use some of this brown with the yellow. Will that work? Will it let me? Do I have enough yellow? Maybe. Yes, I do. Look at that. There we go. I think I actually need more yellow. Boop. Sound effects are absolutely necessary when you're painting. Okay, making a nice warm brown yellow. Gonna pop that in there to little spots. As an artist, I like to go into different areas of the painting. Sometimes I'll be working on details, sometimes I'll be going flat out. Oh my goodness, that got loud real quick. And so I go back and forth between developing tiny details and blocking details out. Even though, as an artist growing up, they usually tell you to, oh my goodness, why is this one so loud? Oh, gosh. It's like some of these songs are just like, let's pump up the volume between different YouTube channels. But anyway, they tell you to work on the bigger stuff first, and then kind of go more narrow as you get in. So get all your basic stuff laid out, big picture stuff, then get all finicky with the details. Which really I do anyway, but as you're developing a painting, you tend to do whatever works best for you. I just feel like I need white in there somewhere. But I'm not sure. Let's see. Some more of this dark brown yellow. There we go. I feel like it needs more yellow. What's nice about the alcoholic inks, they're translucent. So you can just get in blocks of color without interfering with what's underneath completely. At least the line work that's underneath. I'm not using this brush for the right thing. Decide where to block off. Here. I will block you off. Here you go. Now it might be very subtle, but it's actually not. This is changing most of the painting from blue to green. Taking that yellow and just going to town. Now, since I'm doing this to warm up the whole painting, but I really just want to focus on making that warmer. So, see how that... So it's getting there. The happiest with it yet, but I'm getting there. Had to take a sip of coffee. I figured you didn't want to hear me slurping away at coffee. I feel like I need to get some more straight lines, like drawn in somewhere. Or some blocks. Ooh, that's a gray. Maybe I need gray. I have gray now. To kind of break up all this stuff. Let's see how this darkens. Ooh, actually, I like that. It's like a gray, but it helping to push back some of the brighter stuff. Kind of pulling it in some of the 3D areas. Make it really stand out. this is definitely the way to go. So, Gina, if you are watching, acrylic inks or alcohol inks over acrylic pours is a godsend. If not, I will talk to you later about it because it's awesome. And they dry so fast. Yeah, it's definitely blocking out a lot of the areas I was unhappy with. Which, to be honest, was most of the painting. And maybe not all artists are completely wholly satisfied with the stuff that they do, but I know sometimes I will be. Tapping on the thing to see if I can make some... I have brown. A lot of brown. Here. I lost my blue and have now created a really, really dark brown. Actually, I think I might do some buildings in here somewhere. Oh no, where'd my music go? I know I'm listening to it. Oh, there it is. So look to see what I need. So maybe we'll create some shadow buildings. They won't be straight, crisp lines, but I think I'll be okay with that. It's just something to break up all the super fluid lines that I have right now. And right now this has so much extender that it's super, super transparent. Thinking of this almost like a ladder. Really, I'm just, I think, playing with brown right now. There we go. Aha! Pushing and pulling of space is what they talked about in college. You play with the spaces in between objects and subjects. And you use color to make things appear to recede or move back into the background, as you're an artist to know, but if you don't, it's good to know. So pushing and pulling of space, I just created a shape here that wasn't here before by taking this brown to push against this blue, and blue tends to be a cooler color. Brown, depending on the shade, could be cool or warm, and in my case, this red is actually, or brown is actually pretty warm. Add a little bit of you in there too. So I'm definitely liking how this is transforming this once not so favorite pour into a really interesting piece. I'm playing with layers upon layers of stuff. So then I create shapes. I'm pulling shapes back out that are already there. Just emphasizing them. Now this ladder feels a little bit of a loan, so I think I'm gonna make another ladder somewhere else in the painting to kind of not make it feel so forever alone. Whether this actually does well. I'm just trying to draw my hand up very slowly. I've got a lot of ink on this. And then see there, it kind of bleeds in. But then that's when I just kind of go, screw it. I'm gonna play. And move this color up in here. And move that color down. So it's almost like the paint becomes a part of the background. A little bit. That's okay. Stay focused. Get back to this. Really need to just stay focused on this. Thought about making some like white colors, since the acrylics are so, or the alcohol inks are so transparent. I wonder if the white would actually show through. But I suppose I'll never know until I find out, huh? On that note, let me clean up my many brushes that are pretty scummy. I'm not treating these brushes too good, and they're some of my favorites. This is just some cleanup solution that Pinata creates for these alcohol inks. So you can use them to clean palettes that you had the inks on, or clean out your brushes like so. I honestly think it's just nail polish remover. It just smells like nail polish remover. That's okay. Alrighty, kiddos. This has a lot of rich colors, but it's starting to look a little dull. Oh no, actually it's pretty shiny. But I would like some whites to pop back out of there. Before I can do that, I need a place to put it. So, clean up solution. My trusty little rag. There we go. I don't want the colors to bleed like the other ones have been. Shake it up really well. And let's see how opaque this white is. Is it dry? Oh, please don't tell me it dried out. That would be like the worst case scenario. Oh no, it's fine. It's just hashtag first world problems. And you don't know if something's gonna be available. Oh, you know, fuck it. Boop. Ah! Did not mean for that much white to go down. I guess we're using it. Life gives you lemonade, just paint with the ink. Just do it live. No, it's not very opaque. It says it's opaque, but it kind of looks pretty very suspicious of it. Let's see when we... Okay, so it kind of does a pastel-y layering effect, which isn't bad. Not quite what I was looking for, but not bad. So it could make it wider. Let's see how this works. Kind of has a muddy look. I don't know if I care for it. It doesn't really do anything for me, which is kind of a shame. There it goes. I guess what the key with these is to start using them in more layers. I just turned them gray, to be honest with you. I don't know if the gray is really a good look. I was hoping it would be a little bit brighter, like this, but that would be just acrylic paint as opposed to ink. Then again, I don't know if I just need to dollop it down in spots. Yeah, it's not really working in the way that I was hoping it would. Nut bunnies. I guess I could just use acrylic paint, watered down, but I think I will play with that another time. Yeah, so far not really a big fan of this white. It's not really doing anything for me. I mean, I can just... Oh! I could just pour half of it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. What's happening, guys? I'm just gonna pour it everywhere. I know all that wonderful work that I did earlier, now it's like, screw you. No, it kind of brightened a little bit right there, which is alright. Trying to blow on it. Alright. Gotta pull like a Bob Ross and make happy accidents of it. Didn't quite do what I was expecting, but that'll be okay. We'll hashtag deal. I did want a little bit more white, so. Yeah, kind of looks like it just exploded everywhere. I think I might clean it up. I really don't care for all that. That's not what I was looking for at all. Well, I'm gonna attempt to clean some of this off. It might actually clean up, so we'll see. It's coming up. Slowly but surely, it's coming up. I have my Q-tips on me, so I'll rub it off. Okay. That feels like it's just chopped off in half, so. I'm gonna try it again on this other side. Probably not squeeze so damn hard. There we go. Squeeze so damn hard. Trying to control as much as I can where it goes. Now it's leaking. So I'll blow on it. Move my mic a little bit over. But I think that's the key, is to pour it and not just brush it in. And then brush it in after, I guess, so. With the wrong brush. Yeah, I kind of like how bright that makes that. There we go. And this is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna have to pour it over my brush.
Who the freak ate my snack pack?
There we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. Yeah, this is definitely much better than just pouring it, or it's almost a lemony yellow. Okay. Want some of these colors to come back.
Who the heck?
That! Happy accidents, just F and go with it. Show you the side here, just gonna let it pour, blow on it. Happy accidents, my friend. Be like a Bob Ross and just do it. Something natural about how it pours into the little crevices and it does whatever the one it wants. Oh man. Not sure how I feel about those ladders. I'm thinking I might just pop these out again with some blue. Hopefully this time the blue and brown will be okay. Maybe I'll do it with a bright blue, maybe not. I'm thinking a darker blue would be better. Very little of this stuff. These paints are actually surprisingly expensive. But a little of this purple if there's any dried. If there isn't, I'm just gonna wake it back up with some extender and see if it wakes it up. Yeah, it does. F yeah, totally does. That's awesome. Alrighty. I get a dark blue. And I am just gonna paint over this because I do not like it. Sometimes you find when you're painting, you don't like something, get rid of it. Whether with white paint or another color, even if it's see-through, block it out. Out of sight, out of mind. Extending all this up here. It's also kind of tricky because I'm looking at it from an angle, so I'm trying to see how things look from a distance. Moss blue. Now With all these really darkened spaces, I can create new shapes with it. Out of the old ones. Kind of move this color everywhere. So it's not just a plight in one little spot. Kind of scumbling it over the stones here. Bring it out a little bit. So now this piece is surprisingly dark, and for me that's not all that surprising, but and I think I'm kind of okay with that. Just trying to find the right balance between dark and light and your middle colors. That looks like an octopus. I should make that into an octopus. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this kind of looks like a squid person, and then there's the arm going up that way, so I should totally develop that. Now that I see him, I can't unsee him. Trying to clean up this brush. Be like, what? There we go. All that mess. I'm taking a moment to think about what I want to move forward with this. I swear this is not a sun-bright yellow. Although I bet if I mix yellow with this white, it'll be bright as heck. It's totally happening. Oh, that white is very opaque. Oh yeah, but look at that yellow that I was hoping to get, that I never got, so here we go. Here we go, that's what I wanted. You are now a yellow squid, buddy. This is the yellow that I was hoping to have. Even a little bit pastel-y. That's my word for it. Bring them back in. That should be a shadow under him. Should have some fun tentacles around here. Take a little dot of, not sure exactly where the eyes would be, but we'll make some big eyes. So you get the idea that it's a creature and not just a random thing here. Sorry about my hand covering the piece. I'm just trying to get in here. It's a little skinny. I want to accentuate his little tentacles here. These are kind of turning into claws. They're like a massive hand. It's kind of deformed, but whatever. He's got kind of a deformed hand, but it's okay. He's our monster. He can have whatever hand he wants, dang it. He can be super deformed, and not the cute kind. Not the cute weeaboo kind. Just glad I saw this guy in here. This is great. Take some of this back. I feel like I need to move some of this yellow further into this purple, but I'm not quite sure yet, so I think a touch of that would probably be nice. Come here, purple. Oh yeah, it dried. This is what happens when you let your inks dry. Oop. Touch them with the extender and bring them back to life. Like so.
I wanna go to a place where I can feel the rain again. I wanna reach the mountain where I can soar across the sky.
So a lot of my earlier work had lots of abstracts with trees and branches and roots. So I'm liking to bringing that back. Even though they're just kind of generic little branches that I learned how to make while in school. like elementary school where they're like, make a bunch of V's and they are now branches. Because reasons. Even though trees are way more complicated than that. So this went from a billowing cloud to, I don't know, coral?
I wanna fly through the night and feel what I used to be. I wanna run away where I can soar across the sky. And so my feet start to tremble, they lift off the ground. I leave it all behind, and I can see the horizon, it's calling my name. I leave it all behind. I'll rise above all that I hold dear. I'll never fall. I'll always soar across the sky.
I kind of like that this has a straight line here, but then this feels a little dead.
I will never,
Let me get my shadow off of there, see if it makes a difference.
never fall. I will never, I will never, I will never fall.
So, not sure if it's too busy yet or not. I might give it a break, work on another painting, just to get started, see how it looks. Excuse me. I might play with, or so some of my other pours came out while I go to let this rest. So my other pours, for me, they felt a little muddy. I don't know, I didn't really care for how muddy it was. I don't know if I want to touch it. So with this one, this got a nice depth and feel to it. Not sure if I want to touch it, but I might. I had thought of playing with my acrylic ink here, or my alcoholic ink. Not enough coffee this morning, guys. Oh, the color in these little shells that I got. There's all the sand from the beach and the shells. So let me try that, shall we? Shall we, just start pouring dots of color and seeing how this goes. Now I'm going to go from light to dark first, because once you put the dark colors down, they just kind of obliterate everything. Just bleeding all this yellow. Try to create organic shapes by blowing on it. Work on some of this gold, which really needs to be shaken the crap out of right now, as it's so kind of brownish sparkling. Why this is so dry? The white ink seems to really bring back the color, though. See if I can clean out the spout. It's kind of dried out. There we go. I don't exactly have a straw, but oh, it's really thin. It's some dense opaque white. No wonder why it's not clean. There we go. I got some of that yellow mixed in. So I hope the volume is okay and I'm talking loud enough. When I get the music in my ear, I tend to talk pretty quiet. Sorry, you have to look at a little bit of an angle here. See if I can adjust that a little bit better for you. I'm trying to be as gentle with the camera as I can. It's just kind of funky. There we go. That's a little better. And now you're actually over the piece as opposed to of it. Oh, there's a thing in there. I hear it now. It's supposed to agitate the... Well, not the white apparently. The white doesn't get agitated. This one's gonna have magenta. It's called Senorita Magenta, whatever that means. I don't know what Senorita Magenta is, but I'm assuming it's just really, really red. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's red. It just soaks up in that. Go over there. There we go. Ooh, that's actually really nice. Just going straight color here, guys. Sorry. That is very, very pink. Very, very pink. Which I am okay with. like this pink. Get in some of this gold here. I have this dark splotches of brown. Kind of dry brushing this alcohol ink now because it's drying on my my thing, my brush. So extend it. Ooh, makes it lighter. Oh, I really like this. I like this effect it does. This is awesome. I'm gonna scrub into the extend some of this here. Now it looks like this extender is actually not only extending it, but yeah, it's extending it. It's breaking it up, making it more fluid. So go further out. It's becoming paler and paler with less pigment. And I can go back in some of these darker areas, come back. I gotta say, guys, I really love this extender stuff. Oh, there it goes with the white. Now you can see these bright pink areas. I'm just gonna do this here. See if we can get some white on here. Yeah, we got some of that pink. Like a salmon. Let's do this. This is actually working out really well. This is turning into salmon pink. I'm really loving how this is looking. You guys, I've been doing this wrong the entire time. I need to just stick with acrylic inks, apparently. Okay, need to clean out this ink stuff here. It's all up in here. That's cleaner. That's white. That one is also white. Oh boy, I've mixed up my caps. That can't be good. Oh, no, that's purple. I am missing a cap. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's the red. Don't mess up your caps, guys. Don't mess up your caps. Now, once I clean these up with a cleanup solution, I'm going to wash them again, the paintbrushes in soap and water, just to make sure all that stuff gets out of there. Really digging this music. Sorry, I had to slurp my coffee again and click-clack on my computer. Correction, you're just going to hear me drinking my coffee. Because it's just going to happen. I'll click around and... Thanks for hanging out so far. I know this can't be too exciting. Me discovering alcoholic inks. Woo! Not the best kind of alcohol, but hey. wonderful, bright pink with all this gold. Not sure how I'm gonna develop it yet. I had a bunch of pen tips that I was using with my India ink, but they weren't quite working so well. So I might go in with some. I find tip pens here. If they'll paint, and they're not going to. Of course, they only work on paper, or they're just drying out. Dang it! I hate when my pens dry out. It makes me sad. Funny little symbols and stuff. Pull out my favorite coloring pens, my Faber-Castells, which come in all sorts of colors. Again, it's more ink, so I don't have to keep switching up these inks here. So I'm going to play with some colors that I have here. Kind of marker. About the same thing. Leads into the marker and pen. Waterproof India ink. Oh, well, there we go. Alcohol and India ink. There you go, my friends. Try not to mess up the pen tip too bad. Trying to repeat patterns. Not sure what color this is, it just has a number. Now, my own problem with these India ink pens is that, again, I have to do the lighter colors on top first, so if the darker colors are already in place, it's kind of a moot point. I can try. See, it doesn't really work. It's very subtle. For that, I could just use the ink itself. And see, if I mark it in here, it just looks like so it's not opaque. For that, I can use a darker pink instead. But again, it would just be transparent, so you won't be able to see what the differences were, unfortunately. But it could make for some really nice, subtle coloring in here. It's fine on the lighter areas where you can see it. really gonna see it all too well there. So on that, I'd have to go back in. Alcoholic inks, not the acrylic inks, alcohol. So playing with my gnarly brush here. Okay. Cleaned up my gnarly brush. Now the Senora Magenta was the very bright magenta. Almost need a clean palette. Oh my goodness, I am not tired. I'm going to stream for another half hour or so anyway, so. Just way too deep today. Oh, I don't need to do that. I'm being very silly. I'm trying to mix all of this when I already have stuff, so. So you can see it better. Let me flip it over. That's the color I'm trying to mix on there. This is nice purpley color. Make nice bleeding into the gold areas and such. Trying my hardest not to dump the bump the camera, but it can't be helped a little bit. Going to do a lot of this cleanup solution here. Extender. I like this idea that I'm making petals. Move this a little bit further down so you can actually see. There we go. Little random shapes. I was gonna identify them, but I kind of like how subtle that is, so. A little bit more space so that when I draw the line, they're not just gonna bleed into each other, which almost happened. I don't know if I want them to bleed, to be honest with you. Just because they're Oh, good. Just making sure my mic didn't go to sleep. Okay. Now, I wish I could clean that up a little bit, but that might just be something I just have to deal with. I go back in with a white and go back over, but I think I will do that with a white ink. Oh, wait, I think I have white ink. Hold up, kiddos. It's kind of cruddy, but it's acrylic ink. This was the alcohol ink. Might be able to bring some of the stuff back. We shall see. Seems like I'm constantly cleaning up these brushes here. Pro tip, you're not supposed to actually get the brush into the ink and paint into the ferrule of the brush. It's the very end of the metal piece that holds all the bristles. And as far as I know, the reason for that is so that your bristles don't come out. And they don't get all dried up and gunked up in there. For now, we've got some white ink. And I'm going to see if I can go back in with it. It's kind of gunky right now. Oh, maybe not. This is what happens when you let your ink dry. It turns into paste. Nope. That's what happens when you don't have your ink dried, stored properly. They dry. Yep, it's totally unusable paste. So, let's toss that. It's one less thing to store in my house. Well, I will go back to my handy dandy white stuff that barely works. We'll see how we can break up this here. It's bleeding. Oh, and that was way too much. First world problems. Just go with it. It actually made the purple really pale, which, to be honest, isn't bad. Okay, I'll go with it. Moss happy accidents. Stuff's just getting really clunky, and I'm not with how clunky it's getting. Clumpy. See, if you bleed this across, it just drops in. There we go. So in case anybody is interested, I thought about streaming with my 2-year-old. He's gonna go on 3 in a few months, but you know, he's 2 and he likes to paint with mommy. And I streamed with it on my personal Facebook just because it was easier at the time than trying to set up OBS and do all this stuff. So also thought about doing a Pookie inking thing, or another Monster Hunter inking, which people have shown some interest in. For right now, I'm kind of just playing with my alcohol inks. Yeah, I lied. In the beginning, I didn't like this white, but now, I love it. Just do little drops on my brush, and just go to town. Just gotta break up all this. Really liking how this is popping it. This is effing fantastic. And yes, I'm gonna do more of it, because look. Ah! Ooh, it mixed with the purple. Nice. Gotta love it. And it mixes with your purple. Come here, purple. You're not escaping purple. Not escaping the white. The whiting. No, it's like a lavender. As my son would call it. Purple. It's purple. Look at all these colors. That's how my son is. I don't know where he gets that from. Probably his 8 million little tablet shows that he watches on his phone. Yes, he has a tablet. Because reasons. Actually grandma. Which is okay. Used it to help potty train him, so it worked. Until you know he's not potty trained, and then... go. Yeah, really liking how this, and I'm literally just taking the white from the side here of these droplets and scooping it up. So like all this stuff. And just having a good old time with it. Yeah, this is my first ink painting and I am really liking it. A lot. Need to do something about this because it's very dark, very black. And it's like a blight on my perfect pink environment. Which honestly, I'll probably just put white down. Boop. Sound effects are absolutely necessary. Especially when you gotta blow on them. That's what she said. Hey. And now you can see all the cracks of the stuff inside. Okay. Just trying to blow on it a little bit. Now, not perfect yet, but definitely much happier. Want the things to bleed. So it's me tapping on it. Then I let it drip. Kind of blowing on it. What happens if I... Oh, that's what happens. Okay, so just ink on ink. Oh, kind of like a pour. But not. And I kind of let it sit to the side and bleed. Kind of taken over a little bit. So I was kind of blowing on this. I need to get some straws just so that I can blow the little pieces everywhere. I'll just take some taster straws or something. Are you white? Oh shoot, I'm mixing up my caps again. It's alright. think I need to do something here to kind of connect those two pieces. Come here, extender. Boop. I lied. I'm gonna do this part first. It's kind of resting on the thing. Trying to very, very carefully draw these lines without. In most painting, I like to have a literal symbolism. So in the paintings that come up, you can see where I do kind of semi-abstract stuff, so everything in like more like Picasso where he breaks up the human form. And then there's others that are just a little bit more like surrealism. If you think Frida Kahlo technically isn't a surrealist, she didn't identify as a surrealist in her life, but she kind of just got lumped in that group because of the nature of her paintings. But she had these more symbolic stories of her life, where she did these portraits with symbols that represented her culture, her beliefs, her love life with the muralist Diego Rivera, which wasn't always a positive love life. I think they got divorced twice, and he cheated on her with her sister. It just did, you know, it was a lot of drama. But in Frida Kahlo's life, she had a series of tragedies. She was involved in a streetcar accident where the pole went through her, I believe it was her abdomen. Pretty much it went through her abdomen. She ended up having a broken spine, being bedridden for a really long time. And in that time, her father, a photographer, got her, I think it was her mother or her father, got her a canvas and made a whole thing where she was sitting or laying in her bed and she painted herself. That's when she started painting self-portraits. And many of her paintings are, in fact, really small. They're actually small like this. Well, not all this small, but there are many that are. And it's really surprising to me when I went to go see her work in a museum, finally, and found that they were tiny, when the pictures themselves were blown up almost like larger than life. That's just kind of the person that she was. Apparently, every time she came into a room, she was like the life of the party. And it's just kind of ironic because in her private life, it's actually kind of sad. She's stronger for it, trying to be this powerful woman in spite of the craziness that she went through. Well, in any case, with the broken spine and all that, she actually had many complications from it. She wore a full body cast, and a lot of her clothing was loose so that she could hide the full body cast. She used to draw and paint on them, and she was never able to have children. She miscarried multiple times, which is unfortunate because I know she really wanted to have kids. And so a lot of her paintings show that. So you can pull a lot of things from those paintings about her life, mental health, and beliefs, and it's the way that she reorganizes the picture to be, this isn't a literal retelling, but it kind of is. Like, this is me on the bed with a cast, but it's now a column, because a column represents the cast. So it's how that I think she got lumped in with the surrealists, because they use symbols to stand in for other things. And a lot of my preferred work is symbols to stand in for other things, like when I did my cancer series for a little while. And I would represent the medicine tree with a calamansi tree, which is a Filipino lemon. So the Filipino lemon tree, or lime tree, has a lot of thorns on it, and it bears really small, tart little fruits. And the tart little fruits are amazing in food, by the way. It's just representative of my culture. And my mom is Filipino, so I'm half. But not only that, it's kind of a double entendre, because then the tree has thorns. So it made me think, you take this medicine, it's good for you, but the side effects can be painful. I mean, you can pull any meanings from it. It's like your culture has like bad side effects, or it's just an interesting way to retell a story. And it is my hope in the future that I could tell other people's stories through surrealist paintings, or through abstract ones like these, where it's just fields of color with some subconscious imagery, and something a little bit different than what's always on the streams that I've seen anyway. I mean, I haven't seen everything on Twitch streams, and it's not to say that they're bad, because, everyone's got talent and everyone's got their own thing that they want to share with the world. And this is my little corner of the world. So, I'm going to show you some older abstracts, the paintings that are in the side. I've got some other finished pieces that are just purely abstract. I'm looking for them now. That are not acrylic paintings. This one's depicted in one of the pictures. Oh, the giant one with the cave is the cave painting. It's actually 4 feet by 6 feet tall. Sitting in my living room. There's another one that was depicted. It's also on my Instagram. Let me look down. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to this stream thing here. See things like branches and color. A lot of these shapes are masked out. This one is an older piece, but if I can get in here, I can zoom out a little bit so you can see the scale of it. It's one of my older paintings, but you can see the influence of the line work, the subconscious abstract imagery that I like to do. But then I also have the symbolic paintings. I'll pull out my sketchbook right quick because this is sharing time. See all my notebook that I made based off of the bullet journals. So all my stories that I want to tell. One of my big paintings is actually the hair. I originally called it hair loss painting, and it's supposed to be my mother brushing my hair after I got my chemotherapy treatments because I'm a cancer survivor. And I got my limited palette, so I blocked out certain colors I wasn't going to use. Oh, and originally I wanted to turn this into mermaids because I was a really big fan of mermaids growing up. But for some reason, it felt more appropriate for it to be a more realistic portrait. See, I'm blocking things out, doing studies. There's another painting that's a long one. It might be showing up eventually. But we hide and seeks. Oops, our IV blood. A little bit more of a graphic painting from the cancer series. Just the story of my family's life with cancer. And in this story, it's kind of messed up because when you're kids, you do dumb things. There I am with my IV pole. And we were playing hide and seek in different rooms. And I didn't realize that halfway through, I had pulled the needle out of my hand. And, whew, yeah, it didn't turn into a good time. But yeah, these are paintings that I actually haven't done yet. I found that I needed to take a break from the cancer series. 'Cause personally, it's a really hard one for me. It's talking about... Oh, there's the butterflies, so make the blood come out. This one I haven't finished. It's supposed to be like the butterfly needles. That's what the nurse described them to me. And... But I found it was really hard to do, because my father passed away from lung cancer 3 years ago almost? Yeah, 3 years ago. And it was tough. It was tough trying to heal from those moments, and I took Frida Kahlo into account that I use this to heal. But it became too hard. It became too hard to try to paint something so painful all the time. And so I've started moving back to things like this, because there's no connection, but there's an emotional outlet. So I probably will one day go back to this cancer painting series because it is important to me. Another one where I figure out how I'm gonna make this painting. It's like, you might not be able to have children. It was a conversation that I had with my mom 3 years ago. Oh no, 4 years ago, before I had my son. And so these are all notes about my father. More notes, canvas sizes, more notes. So this is an older abstract sketchbook that I was using before I switched to another one that I preferred. So I'm experimenting with. Oh, here is one painting that I planned out. So this is what happens when you actually kind of plan out paintings, but then don't do them, but then do. There it is. I'm trying to find it. Boop. Alright. So, where did it go? And now I lost it. Don't mind me, I'm going through all of my notes. Here. So this is kind of like the start, and then I didn't care for how it turned out, and then I further developed it until I was much happier with it. So I see like a T-Rex or something in there. But I was trying to break down the... Oh, excuse me. The colors that I was using. So there's the door painting. But then I stopped using this notebook because I realized, I don't really like the setup. So then I made this book. So it's got my fancy little logo, and I think I just like making books. Started posting my things of color. I haven't really done much with it yet. I think I just like to make books. My little color wheel with my colors noted. I just started doing doodles at night. I saw another artist doing these to kind of get inspired, to unwind. These are old notes from a previous sketchbook, or old school work, see more doodles. Figure out colors and stuff would work, what kind of... So I haven't actually done these paintings. Oh, sketches. Schedules. But I've done things like this, but I haven't actually used them yet. So I think going forward I will try to base paintings off these and see how they work. Okay. So, enough of my rambling. Let's see what I can finish up for today. 'Cause I think I am beat. Oh, excuse me. Big ol' yawn. But I've got to get packed up because I've got to go work on TRA stuff. Tampa Regional Artists. So if you like the stuff that I'm doing, feel free to follow, and I will try to get ink. Stream Thursdays and Fridays in the morning. Wednesdays I'm going to try to do in the afternoon. We'll see. But I just started a new job, at least part-time. And sometimes it gets away with me. So, if you like that, I'll see you next time. And thank you for tuning in today. I really, really appreciate you stopping by. Have a good one.